If you need emergency assistance, please hang up and dial 000. As you continue to hold, please press 2 at any time to hear some guided breathing exercises. Find a quiet, comfortable place to sit or lie down. Put one hand on your stomach. Breathe in slowly through your nose, and you should feel your stomach rise up. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. And now hold your breath. 1, 2, 3. Keep repeating this until you feel your body and mind slowing down. As you get better at deep breathing, you might want to count for longer. Use your thumb and index finger as levers to block off each side of the nostrils. Breathe in and breathe in slowly through your left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out slowly through your right nostril as you block the left nostril with your finger. 1, 2, 3. Wait a few seconds before breathing in again. Breathe out slowly through your right nostril. 1, 2, 3. Keep repeating this until you feel your body and mind slowing down. This will probably take about 20 breaths.
Hi there, this is the Beyond Blue Line. You're speaking to mental health counsellor. Can I please start with your name?
Sophie.
Sophie? Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is a brief counselling service, and we are mental health counsellors that specialise in anxiety, depression and suicide. So do you want to give me a little rundown of why you've called today?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to submit a complaint to Beyond Blue.
Yeah, why did you want to do that?
I have something that I've written, so I'd like to read it out, if that's okay.
Yep, sure.
Hello, I have a complaint to file with Beyond Blue. Centrelink says I can't submit my complaint beginning with I am exercising my right to peaceful protest anymore, or they will restrict my access so I can only talk to one person. Usually I would nominate that person as our Prime Minister Elbow, but he has excused the mutual work obligations of the federal parliament to mourn the death of the colonial figurehead Queen Elizabeth. Rest in peace. So this week I am nominating Julia Gillard, Director of Beyond Blue. The welfare to work reforms, which excluded me from the disability support pension for 7 years, were actioned by the Julia Gillard Labor government's first budget in 2012. It does not sit well with me that Gillard is now the director of Beyond Blue, when Services Australia has made me negotiate for my access to society on a basis of whether or not I can stand up from a seated position, or lift my arms above my head, or turn my neck left or right. The impairment tables used to grade the severity of disabled peoples in Australia were legislated right before I became an adult. In previous complaints, I noted my first job capacity assessment was when I was 18. This is a half-truth. I first applied to the disability support pension when I was 18. It took Centrelink several months to organise a job capacity assessment for me in 2015, and then half a year and likely thousands of dollars to determine I was unsuitable for bricklaying and graded me 15 points. Under the Freedom of Information Act, I was able to obtain the job capacity assessments conducted on me from 2015 to 2022. I will continue to release details in an effort to humiliate the acting government in the way they have degraded me and my lived experience of disability for the entirety of my adult life. I applied in 2015 with a letter from an orthopaedic surgeon responsible for straightening my legs over 3 years. Julia Gillard, it is abhorrent that you are the director of Beyond Blue when you have mandated that I unpacked my complex medical trauma over the phone for a stranger at Centrelink every 2 years to check I am still disabled. I am depressed because of these assessments. I called Lifeline for the first time in my life prior to my most recent job capacity assessment. Julia Gillard, you should be ashamed. You do not need a letter from a bloody bone surgeon to determine I am unsuitable for bricklaying. With all due respect, back off. My congenital bone disease, spondylometaphyseal dysplasia, Kozlowski type, does not get bloody cured. What you are asking me to endure is degrading. Stop allowing Services Australia to debate my capacity like I am not in the room. Scoring my disability using an impairment table is dehumanizing. It is a hate crime. A grade of 35 points is used to describe my body parts as mildly, moderately, and severely disabled. Centrelink scores 10 out of 10 on the yucky scale. I rank their level of incompetence as extreme. The job capacity assessment is pointless because people like me want to work. On the DSP, I am allowed to work up to 30 hours a week, but I will never reach that threshold. Julia Gillard, your national shame has punished 40% of people on JobSeeker who are disabled with a partial payment. If you want them to work, don't force them into coercive labour. We want to work, so support us. When employees of Centrelink assess somebody's disability using a point system, what they are doing is wrong on an ethical basis. What you are mandating is a hate crime. If I hurt and yell and bleed, I am not even allowed to advocate that I am in pain without an accompanying doctor's note. I am not allowed to speak about my own lived experience of disability, and that stinks. I want the right to speak for myself. There is no one more qualified in my disability than me. I will continue to complain every week until my voice is heard, until you take my word for it, until the guidelines for accessing the disability support pension are made to be equitable and do not make people like me feel worthless. Today is week 3 of my protest. Regards, Dr. Sophie.
Wow, that's quite an emotional letter, isn't it?
Yes, thank you for listening.
Of course. And look, I'd love to pass it to Julia Gillard for you, but I can't, and I'm nowhere near ever going to be in contact with her. But if that's a letter that does make you feel better, and I hope you succeed in what you want. Obviously, sounds like you deserve more recognition and the right to be heard. So,
Thank you for saying.
of course, and although you don't like Julia Gillard, Beyond Blue is here for you, and obviously is happy to listen to you.
Well, thank you for listening to my letter and have a good weekend.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.